Hey guys, what's up? It's JB Illusion, and we're going to do Isabel's story. Bell, because apparently every single decker in Shadowrun decides to use lead speak. I'm really happy that that came back in the future. Um, a lot of people really hate this character. I love her, but keep in mind I tend to date short women, so that's kind of, you know, I'm biased. So I said we are going to talk about what we're doing for everybody. Before what we gave them, we got the last upgrade to our party. I really like this. It started in Dragonfall. You can upgrade your party and kind of tool them out how you see fit. We've gone for Territoriality with Gobbet. Good God. Again with the chair. Okay. Isabel, we've gone for espionage mostly because I need to pick up, some actual decking abilities for her. That's kind of, I don't understand why anyone would go with sabotage. You need better decking. We also have Duncan here. We went with lethal force all the way up to him actually getting a magnet arm. A magnet arm will actually intercept thrown projectiles like, say, grenades, and it'll reflect it back at somebody. That's super awesome. Gaichu is focusing on his red samurai-ness, not his ghoul-ness. And what's the last bit? For Raptor and his lovely pet drone, we have Predator. Mostly takes advantage of long-range weapons. The bottom one, Mangler, is all close range. I don't understand why you would really focus on close range considering the fact that we have a ghoul red samurai. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Now, let's talk to Isabel. Isabel's cabin is an exercise in controlled chaos. Her living space is utterly dominated by an enormous jury-rigged computer. Serpentine cables snake from component to component, tying dozens of obsolete terminals and cyberdecks together into a single colossal machine. So she's a do-it-yourselfer. She does not buy store brand electronics. This is my personal machine. If you're looking for your mission computer, it's downstairs. She doesn't bother looking up. You can see that she's elbow deep in the guts of an obsolete cyberdeck, one of a half dozen that have been wired into her computer with braided cables. Actually, I was hoping to talk to you. Got a second? There's a long pause, then she chirps out a response. We're talking now, aren't we? Yeah, this is kind of why a lot of people don't like her. Maybe I just like the Sundari? Is that how it's called? No, some weeboo who watches this is obviously going to tell me I pronounced that completely wrong. Anyhow, we're talking now, aren't we? I guess so, yeah. Can I ask you a few questions? She leans in, scrutinizing the innards of an obsolete deck. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Have you been having any weird dreams lately? Her body goes still. Yes, I think that everybody has. Me too, and Gobbet. We both had horrible nightmares. I know. It happens more often than you think. She tilts her head in the direction of the walled city. This kind of mass psychosis was common where I grew up. Everybody got it. Mass psychosis seems like a magical phenomenon to me. You would know you are an adept. Her voice quickens. I don't really know what it is, and I don't think I want to. I just want to work on my computer in peace. That's quite a machine you're working on. Can you tell me about it? She's my pet project. I call her the Octopus. Okay. She waves a hand at the tangle of thick power cables that radiate out from the machine's central core. You might be able to guess why. Okay, cool. Did you do all this yourself? Mm-hmm. She yanks a fried trip from the deck's motherboard and neatly sets it aside, then fumbles in a nearby bin for replacement. I had to make do with whatever I could find as a kid. Taught me a lot about being self-sufficient. Okay, she, if you didn't know, she was born in the walled city. So she kind of is privy to a lot of information that she doesn't want to talk about. I can understand because the walled city is like some massive From what Crafty has been telling us, it's like this massive, weird, negative energy sink. Um, what's this thing made of? Whatever I could find. Busted terminals, obsolete cyber decks, aftermarket memory from Maximum Law's dumpster. Scavengers would kill for this stuff in the walled city, but out here, people throw it away. See, that's where she gets uh, not resourcefulness, thriftiness. Yeah, hey, somebody threw it away. I can still use it. She chuckles to herself as she eases a card into an empty expansion slot. Most deckers are early adopters. They buy whatever's new is, shell out huge amounts of new yen in hopes of riding the bleeding edge. Stupid. Why? Because I can have 5 of last year's model for a quarter of the price of that whiz new cyber deck, and after I'm finished daisy chaining them together, the machine that I've built will run circles around your hot new deck. Okay, I like this. I like that. I have a friend who used to make computers, and he just said, "John, you literally could give me like $500, and I would make a computer that is so much more powerful than that one that you bought for way too much." You know, yeah, but nothing ever really came out of it. I wish I could actually learn how to make computers though. I kind of want to make a desktop. But hey, eventually I'll work through that. Because I can have 5, yeah, last year's model. Yeah, and you'll need a flatbed truck to carry it. True. Do we look like we're hurting for space to you? She rummages in a bin to her left and pulls out a stick of solid state memory. It disappears into the deck that she's working on. I've got a whole boat to work with, your cabin included. If I told Gobbet I needed it. Wait, what? So she would actually hook everything up into my cabin too. Be my guest, whatever. A long pause. Huh. Well, I was joking, but if you're really okay with it, I might someday. We'll see. What about your portable gear, your cyber deck, software, that kind of thing? You have to be using the new top of the line stuff, right? It gets the job done. Might not be top of the line, but I'm comfortable with using it in the field. Okay, so no, it's not top of the line. If you should happen to come across any more advanced hardware or software, either on the job or on the discount rack at Law's Techno Place. I'm not above taking donations, but bearing that, I'm fine with using what I've got. Your call. Let's talk about the ambush in Victoria Harbor for a second. I think we need to. I'd rather not. I lost friends there. Duncan and I didn't come out of the attack unscathed either. They shot Carter down, same as your friends. Was she your friend? You didn't seem that close. Ooh. She returns her attention to the octopus, turning her back to you. Oh, come on. I'd like to get to know you better. Tell me something about yourself. Certainly. Something? She pauses for a moment. We're going through like a ton of dialogue from that we could have done for past missions, but I kind of saved it. Okay, I don't like small talk. Does that count? See, this is the thing that makes people hate Isabel. It's the standoffishness. Because Gavit is way too cool. Sure, it tells me that you don't want to be social. Look, it's nothing personal. I just don't think that I'm a very interesting person, she shrugs. Sorry if that disappoints you. You don't like talking about things other than your computer very much, do you? There's a long pause before she responds. When she does, she sounds vaguely hurt. I prefer not to. Nothing personal. It's just the way that I am. There's nothing wrong with that. I just want to know who I'm running with. You should learn to speak up. The whole strong and silent thing doesn't work for you. No. Let's be supportive. Yes. You're still a mystery to me. There's a long pause. I don't like mysteries, but I do enjoy solving them. Oh, what's in Scooby-Doo? She turns, gives you her full attention. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask you a question, something personal. After you've given me an answer, you get to ask me something. Think of it like a game of questions. We take turns until one of us wants to quit. Deal? Deal. You go first. She studies your face. We'll start off easy. Tell me what you really think about Duncan. He was a means to an end now. I don't have any feelings about him now. We're old friends who drifted apart now. No, not with how I'm treating him. He can be a pain in the ass, but he's like a brother to me. That feels very close. I love and respect the man. He's family. Let's go with that. She cocks her head inquisitively. I've heard how you abandoned him back in Seattle. If that's love, you've got a funny way of showing it. Oh, snap. Okay. Well, you've answered my question. I guess that makes it your turn. How long you been running the shows with Gobbet? That's a good question. I guess about 4 years now, a decent stretch by anyone's reckoning. And that would make it my turn. She pauses, considering. Really? That's it? Okay, just give me numbers. So tell me, what was your connection to Raymond Black? He was like a father to me. Me and Duncan. He got us out of the Barrens. He was a rich old man who wanted to buy the gratitude of some street kids. I accepted. He was my benefactor and mentor. He was a father to us. In that case, I'm sorry for your loss. Losing the ones that you love is hard. Your turn. Ask me a question and I'll give you an answer. How'd you and Gobbet meet? Her brow furrows, and after a moment she screws her eyes shut. We met as kids, in the walled city. My prison was her playground. You okay, Isabel? Of course I'm okay. I'm fine. She shifts her gaze to the octopus. That's her coping mechanism. So whatever in the walled city that happened to her was so, like, bad, or at least such a mental, like, strain on her, that she just copes through online in the Matrix. Much like, well, actually a lot of people. That actually slightly made me sad. Okay, anyhow. I just have a hard time remembering those days. My childhood is kind of a blur. Okay. And that brings us back to my turn. She gestures at the cabin walls around you. You enjoy it, don't you? Living like this, working the shadows? This is survival. Do what I have to do. Enjoyment doesn't come with it. I want my old life back now. Well, his name is Hollywood, his street name. Yeah, Raymond was wrong. This is what I was born to do. She nods slowly. I knew it. I could read it all over you. Your turn again. Go ahead. Ask me something. Where'd you learn to duck? The Whampoa. Whampoa? I lived there for a while after escaping the walled city. The people there were difficult. We didn't get along, but it was a great place to learn. My turn again. Her head tilts as she studies your face. And I think my last question for you. You're stuck here, marooned. You and Duncan both. He's obviously unhappy with the situation. He keeps going on about things that he left behind, but what about you? Is there anything that you want to get back to? Yeah, I left something important behind my entire life. Nothing worth mentioning, truth be told. I'm enjoying the change of scenery. Nothing? There isn't anything about your old life that you'll miss? I don't know whether to envy you or feel sorry for you. Well, just in case you didn't know, this story starts off where we just got out of a corp jail. We did like an 8-year bid, so yeah, I would kind of like to, get away from that. She glances down at the clock on her desk, an antique model with physical hands that looks like it was wrenched out of a submarine. A frown spreads across her face. Shit, it's even later than I thought, and I've still got a long way to go before the octopus is fixed. She begins to turn away, her attention fixed on the stack of partially disassembled cyberdecks arrayed in front of her. Hang on, Isabel, you still owe me another question. She stops in place, fidgets. That's true, go ahead. I need you to tell me what you can about the walled city. Her voice goes cold. Why? Because Raymond Black wanted to go in there, and somebody destroyed my life to keep him from doing that. Her cheeks flush, just like they did the last time. She averts her eyes. No. I'm sorry, but no. Later, maybe, but not now. Alright, Isabel. Maybe next time. Blinking, she turns away and buries herself in the octopus blade innards. Please excuse me, I have work to do. A lot of people do bury themselves into work when very bad situations are going on or happening, so they don't think about it. Let's go back to Isabel. Isabel is jacked into the octopus. Her body sits inert. Her breathing is shallow. As you approach, an image blossoms into the largest of the octopus view screens. Ah, Cyber Isabel. Hello down there. It's good to see you again. She smiles down on you from the monitor, her outline scintillating with blue-white light. She looks peaceful at ease. Nice avatar. That's a good look for it on you. Isn't it? I spent months customizing this avatar. She feels more real to me than my own skin. That's actually kind of weird. But the thing about it is, if you don't know, avatars in the Matrix can look like anything. There are guys who look like, what was the one that I was reading? There's a Black Widow, Fast Jack, whose body apparently in the Matrix looks like just like liquid mercury, constantly shimmering, constantly moving. Like, you can make your actual avatar look like anything. I kind of wish that that was implemented in this game. Just a little bit, or maybe like multiple, like models. Maybe like one that looks like a Grim Reaper, one that looks like a Knight, one that looks like a Queen, just something along those lines, or like an alien or something. Just, I think it'd be really cool. Alright. You really feel at home in the Matrix, don't you? You look happy in there. I suppose that I am. It's a comfortable thing. As long as I'm jacked in, I can be whoever I want to be. Whatever I want to be. Okay, that's a little escapist. Out there in meat space, I usually feel uncomfortable in my own skin. The avatar offers you a lopsided smile. I'd probably just live in here if I could. I've heard about Deckers who've tried it. It never turned out well. Dehydration is a bad way to go. I know, and of course I was joking. But truth be told, I do spend most of my time out there, wishing that I were back in here. If you were a Decker, you'd feel the same. It's hard to live in a cage of meat when you know how sweet it feels to leave your body behind. She pauses for a moment, considering. Then her avatar shimmers forward, filling the screen. A slight frown crosses her face. You know, Hollywood. I've been thinking about the question you asked me a little while back. The one about the walled city. The avatar fidgets. The one that I dodged. Yeah, I remember. Look, I wasn't trying to cheat you out of your answer. I wanted you to know that. That talking about the walled city is problematic for me. I understand, I grew up in the Barrens. I know how hard it can be to talk about certain things. Considering the fact that he actually lived near ghoul cannibals. That's interesting. No, it isn't that. I'm not explaining myself correctly. It isn't that I'm tortured by bad memories or anything like that. The problem is that I can't remember my childhood. The freak? Wait, how? What? Some freaky magic? The walled city, that entire chapter of my life, is nothing but a blur to me. I can give you general information about life on the inside, but the specifics of my own experience are gone. Gone? What do you mean gone? Do you have amnesia or something? Something like that, the avatar fidgets on screen. There were a variety of factors in play. The upshot of all this is that there are things that I can tell you about, but only a few, and only in bold strokes. Don't expect any personal stories. I couldn't share them even if I wanted to. So if that's okay with you, if you'll be satisfied with trivia and urban legends, then we can talk. Just say the word. Otherwise, well, at least you know why. How'd you lose your childhood memories? I'd rather not go into it. It's personal. Suffice it to say that I've never missed them, at least not until now. The Isabel Avatar frowns. That wasn't the answer. What happened to you? If you ever want to talk about it, I'm a good listener. She looks away. Great. I'll keep that in mind. Give me what you can about the walled city at this point. Anything would help. Alright. The Avatar licks its lips. Nods. I can do that. Isabel's avatar turns, begins to pace on the screen where she steps spider webs of light spread across the tiled ground of the octopus sculpted matrix hub. When I think of the walled city, the thing that stands out the most in my mind is the legends, the mythology of the place. If I hadn't lived with them, I might have found these stories fascinating. The scintillating figure turns to you on the screen. Did you know that Kowloon Walled City is supposed to be cursed? That it's the locals believe? That's what the locals believe. We had ghost stories and everything. Ghost stories? Dang it. We don't know academics. Stupid. Why'd you take socialite? Our home, the Isabel Avatar nods. Our own homegrown legends about things that haunted the walled city. Demons from another place, the Yama Kings. So we could at least read that Yama Kings derive from the mythological judge of the dead, I presume. Tell me what you can about these things. It'd probably be easiest to think of them like urban legends. Our own little pantheon of monsters and morality, tales to frighten ourselves with at night. The stories are still clear in my mind, even after everything that happened. Everyone in the walled city believed them. You can get out of the walled city if you make a deal with Fu Mang. Cut the hearts from the 44 people closest to you and bring them to him. He will reward you with riches. Don't go under the arch of Kinya, or Kinya will catch you. The Avatar grabs at the air, its hands leaving glowing trails as they move. She'll rip out your teeth, tie your tongue in a knot, and make you her slave for eternity. Okay. So there's two gods. Hold up, there's one more. We had Chai Shiang, our own homegrown judge of souls. People would let themselves be flayed alive in hopes that he'd reawaken them in a better life. And we had Lam Bei, the Ebony Queen, who'd teach you to hide so well that you'd slowly mutate into a cockroach. Holy crap, that's crazy. The Avatar cocks its head, smirking a dismissive gesture. Well, the whole cockroach thing, that their homegrown ebony cockroach might actually be a cockroach, a cockroach totem. That actually would be interesting. Because, oh god, if the walled city had a bug infestation, that'd be terrible. Just in case you don't know, in Shadowrun, bug totems are not from here. They are weird. They're basically like Cthulhu. They will get shamans to follow them, and they will slowly mutate and use the shamans. It's actually pretty scary, to be honest. Basically, eventually you turn to a crazy mindless bug that is currently the host for an insect spirit, and then eventually the insect spirit bursts out of you like a chest burster, like an alien, and might eat you a little bit and then goes on to kill people. Or have even more babies and lay eggs in people. Yeah, it's not fun. The Avatar cocks its head, smirking a dismissive gesture. It's all bullshit, of course, but everybody in the walled city believed it. If everyone believed in these things, maybe they're real. Hey, we got a ghoul on our team. We saw a vampire. We've seen some stuff, people. She shakes her head. No, they can't be. If they were, the body count in the walled city could be a lot higher. The Yama Kings are just a fiction that my parents and neighbors invented to excuse their own actions. I can't get ahead because demons are keeping me down. It's interesting how she contextualized that. It's almost embarrassingly transparent when you really look at it. Lamb v. They turning people into cockroaches? It's just a Kafka-esque trope layered onto a morality tale. Shihi Shang? Xiang. He's just a Nubis with a different coat of paint. And you know that archway that I mentioned? The one that Kinya was supposed to haunt? I knew someone who found it. There was nothing on the other side but concrete. Wait. So, there was nothing on the other side but concrete. But that means that there was something there before, right? Like, I'm not just crazy. But that means that there was something else on the other side. It's all superstitious drivel, Hollywood. The misery in the walled city isn't the fault demons or devils. We created it, and we perpetuate it. We blame made-up monsters for our own failings. There's nothing more pathetic than that. I can understand that, but all I'm saying is, normally there's something there before concrete. And if the archway, I would need to see the archway. Because if the archway is like ancient, you know, like an ancient shrine, and then there's concrete around it, somebody built that. Anyhow, it sounds less like you're trying to convince me than it does like you're trying to convince yourself. I don't need to convince myself of anything. I'm telling you this for your benefit, not mine. Anyway, that's enough for now, huh? I'm sure that gives you plenty to chew on. My obligation to give you an answer is satisfied, I think. So let's just talk about something else. Can you think of anything else that might help us? I don't know, maybe. I'll put some thought into it. The avatar pauses, turns away. After a moment, Isabel's voice pours through the Tridio speakers. On second thought, maybe I do have an idea. Are you open to taking on more work? Of course, kindly sending me new job offers all the time. This wouldn't be work for Auntie Chang. I think of it as a side gig that you'd be doing for me. I think I've got a line on some software that could help us. I can't get it on my own though. It's a two-person job at least. What kind of software? It's kind of hard to explain. It'd be easier for me to just show you. But trust me, it'll help. I have the run all planned out already. I've done the legwork, I know the location, I know the target. Just say the word, and I'll send everything I have to my mission computer. You can look it over, weigh it, and decide what you want to do. Alright, deal, send the file. The Isabel avatar closes its eyes for a moment, then opens them with a smile. Done. You'll find the pertinent documents waiting in your inbox. If you decide to accept the mission, just check the box in the message documentation, and it'll ping my comlink automatically. Oh, alright. Can't wait to find out what this is all about. I'm sure that the briefing I sent you will satisfy your curiosity. Trust me, Hollywood. This is a good job with a solid plan behind it. You'll see as soon as you've read it. And speaking of which, you should go do that now. Say no more, go check it out. The avatar beams at you. Fantastic. I can't wait to hear what you think. Alright, cool. That was a little bit about it. She had Isabel, good grief. She has like the shortest amount of talks to her story mission. I really like her. Anyhow, thank you guys for watching. I'm JB Illusion. Peace out. I did the peace out sound early. But anyhow, if you like this, if you don't understand anything about Shadowrun or want to talk about Shadowrun in the comments, or even if you just like the video, please do comment. Have a nice day, everybody. Peace out.